earned every square inch. The retirement party invitation gleamed from my kitchen counter. Join us in celebrating Alan and Rebecca Bennett's retirement. A new beginning awaits. The new beginning apparently meant my cottage. My phone buzzed. My brother Mark. "You're bringing the keys tonight, right?" he said casually. "Mom wants to redo the kitchen. Dad's thinking of turning your study into their master suite." I swallowed hard. "They're renovating?" "Yeah, they're thrilled. Come on, Julia. You make good money. You can get another one." I hung up. Last year, Mark begged for $25.00 to cover a can't-lose crypto scheme. Before that, it was our sister asking for help with her divorce. I always gave in. But this cottage was mine, my peace, my proof. I walked the halls slowly, brushing my fingers over the trim I painted, the desk I built, the bay windows I installed with my bare hands. Tonight, I'd give them a gift, not the keys, but the final message they never saw coming. They may have assumed I was their safety net, but they were about to learn I knew how to cut the rope. Every room held echoes of my struggle. The den where I'd once slept on an air mattress for months. The kitchen where I'd toasted my first big client win with cheap wine and cold pizza. My phone buzzed non-stop with messages from relatives. "So proud of you, Julia. Your parents finally get the retirement they deserve. What a generous daughter." "Family takes care of family," they said. I sat at my desk, staring at years of financial records. Loan approvals, property tax receipts, wire transfers, all in my name. And then there were the texts, screenshots of every condescending comment my family had thrown at me over the years. "This place? You'll never afford that, Julia. You're working too much. No man wants a woman who makes more than he does. Why can't you just be like Melissa and settle down already?" I printed them all, neatly, organized, tucked into a heavy manila envelope. Then I added a final sheet, a ledger. Every loan, every bailout, every handout I'd given my family. $157,843. The party was held at an upscale lakeside restaurant. Crystal chandeliers, tuxedos, champagne. I arrived early. My mother rushed over. "Julia, there she is, our brilliant daughter." Her eyes scanned for the keys. Dad approached, already toasting. "We just told the Finches we'll be settling in next month." I nodded calmly, envelope in hand. Emma tapped her glass. "Everyone, gather around. Time for the big gift." Phones lifted, eyes locked on me. "Actually," I said, "I do have something to share. 15 years ago, I started chasing a dream, not my parents' version of success, not Melissa's white picket life. My dream. I wanted to build something of my own, to prove I could succeed without shortcuts, without handouts." My mother's smile faltered. This wasn't the grateful speech she expected. In those 15 years, I'd worked weekends, canceled vacations, lived in a cramped apartment, and drove a rusting Honda. All while wiring money home when Mark defaulted on a loan or Emma needed help paying off credit cards. Now, everyone was here expecting me to hand over the keys to my lakefront cottage, the one I bought, maintained, and rebuilt from the ground up. Silence blanketed the room. Even the waiters had frozen. "Instead, I'm giving you this." I raised the envelope. It holds a full record of my journey, what I earned, what I sacrificed, and every time someone in this room told me I was dreaming too big. I walked over to my parents and placed it in my mother's hands. "This is your real retirement gift, the truth." Her hands trembled. The first page was a photo of me curled on a floor mattress under a single light bulb. Then came bank statements, tax forms, loan approvals, proof. "But we thought," she whispered. "You thought wrong," I said. "The cottage is mine. And I'm not giving it away because you assumed I would." Emma stepped forward, furious. "How dare you humiliate them like this?" I turned slowly. "You mean, how dare I speak the truth?" Then I reached into my purse and pulled out a second envelope. This contains a list of excellent retirement communities within your budget, I said, holding up the second envelope, and the contact info of a financial advisor who specializes in retirement planning. That's my real gift to you. The tools to build your own future, not take over mine. The room fell silent. Some guests looked away. A few nodded. My mother cried quietly, though I couldn't tell if it was guilt or fury. Emma crossed her arms, shooting daggers at me. But for the first time, I wasn't shaken by their reactions. I love you all, I said, grabbing my purse. But here's the truth. My success isn't your backup plan. My dream isn't your retirement. And the cottage? It stays with me. As I turned to leave, I heard Aunt Carol whisper, "Good for her." That night, I returned to my cottage. The lake shimmered under the moonlight. I kicked off my heels, walked barefoot across the sand, and stood where the water kissed the shore. For the first time, I felt free, not just a homeowner, but someone who finally set a boundary. By morning, my phone buzzed with messages. Aunt Carol, proud of you. Uncle Steve, you were selfish. Cousin Jessica, you humiliated them. Emma, hope you're happy. Mom won't stop crying. And one from Dad at 3:04 Iowa AM. We need to talk. Family meeting, 2 p.m. I almost ignored it, but maybe, just maybe, it was time to say everything we'd left unsaid. Tom slouched in the corner, pretending not to care, but he was listening. Sit down, Julia, Dad said, motioning to the lone chair in the center. I'll stand, I replied. He sighed. We've been talking, and we think you're not seeing the bigger picture here. No, I think I'm the only one seeing it clearly. Emma scoffed. Oh, really? Is that why you humiliated Mom and Dad in front of their friends? I didn't humiliate anyone, I said evenly. I told the truth. There's a difference. Mom's voice wavered. The truth? We gave you everything. No, you tolerated my choices while constantly doubting them. That's not support. Tom shifted. Come on, Jules, they're getting older. Don't they deserve something nice? I built that cottage, every square inch. Dan, a cousin, spoke up. Sure, but family helps family. I opened the Notes app on my phone. Let's talk about that. Tom, how much did I cover for your gambling last year? He looked away. $42,000, 0 cents. Emma, your failed boutique? You said that was a gift, she snapped. Just like the roof repairs for Mom and Dad. The wedding loan, countless handouts. I've helped all of you. But you treat it like a duty, not a choice. Mom stood. We never asked for the cottage. No, you assumed. You thought my success guaranteed your comfort. I paused, then added, the cottage? It's becoming a retreat. For burned-out professionals. A place of healing. This time, the silence was absolute. The renovations start next month, I said. Their expressions ranged from stunned to offended. But what about us? Emma stammered. What about you? I replied. Mom and Dad have pensions, savings, and equity in this house. You and Tom have careers, or you would if you focused on building them instead of waiting for me. That's enough, Dad snapped, rising. We're your family, not a charity case. Then stop treating me like a personal bank. The silence was deep. I love you all, I said gently, but this has to change. That's why I gave you financial resources. Use them. Plan your future. Build your own wins. Mom sank onto the couch. We really messed this up, didn't we? Yes, I said honestly. But it's not too late. Emma scoffed. You've made it clear you don't care about us. No, I care enough to stop enabling habits that keep us all stuck. Tom finally spoke. She's right. Emma turned, shocked. We've all acted like Julia's success was our fallback plan. Maybe it's time we grew up. Mom cried again, but something was different. I nodded toward the coffee table. I left everything you need. Advisors, planning tools, even career counselors. Take it or leave it. But my cottage is off limits. I turned to go. Julia, Dad called out. I paused. I'm sorry, and proud of you, for everything. It wasn't perfect, but it was something. As I drove home, Tom texted, "Hey sis, can you send that advisor's number? For real this time." I smiled. Maybe change was possible. If this moment hit home, don't forget to subscribe. There's more to Julia's story than just one confrontation. That morning, a sign had gone up near the road. Coastal Haven Wellness Retreat, where recovery meets the lake. I strolled the shoreline, the water cool against my feet, washing away the day's weight. My phone buzzed. "Emma, I still think you're wrong, but can we talk, just us?" "Coffee tomorrow?" I replied. "Progress takes time." The waves kept crashing, steady and sure, like me. I wasn't immovable, just no longer willing to bend until I broke. This wasn't the end of our story. It was a new chapter, one with boundaries, earned respect, and love without strings. I glanced back at the cottage, warm light spilling through the windows. It was mine, for now, but soon it would be a place for others to heal. A place of peace, built from hard truth. 3 months after the party, renovations were underway. Spare rooms became meditation spaces. A yoga deck was going up above the lake. As I reviewed blueprints, my phone lit up. "Emma again. Can we move our walk to today? I need your advice." We met by the water, her usual polish replaced by a t-shirt and yoga pants. "I got laid off," she said. "The boutique's downsizing." She kicked at the sand. "I'm not asking for money. I just want to know how you did it." I studied her. She looked real, tired, honest. "It wasn't magic," I said. "Just small, smart choices. Over and over." She frowned. "But I'm already 35. Isn't it too late?" I smiled. "I started at 32. "It's never too late to restart," I reminded Emma. She stopped walking, eyes on the water. "I've been thinking about what you said. About enabling. You were right. I've been waiting for life to happen instead of making it happen." Her honesty caught me off guard. "There's a business course at the community college," she continued. "Financial management for entrepreneurs. I thought, maybe." "I'll send you the link," I said. "But Emma, you have to finish it. No quitting halfway." She nodded. For the first time in years, I saw a spark of the determined girl she used to be. Meanwhile, Tom had stuck with the financial advisor. He took a second job as a mechanic, using his natural talent to pay off debt. With Dad's help, they built a payment plan and, slowly, were climbing out of the hole. As for my parents, their change was quieter but real. They started meeting with the retirement planner and confronting some hard truths. One Sunday, Mom called, "Can I see the renovations?" I hesitated, but said yes. She arrived alone in sneakers. The worksite was quiet, the lake whispering nearby. "This isn't what I expected," she said, running her hand along the new bamboo wall. "When I said wellness retreat, you pictured incense and dream catchers?" I teased. She laughed. "This is beautiful, Julia. You've thought it all through." We stood on the yoga deck, watching the sunset. "I found your old business plan," she said. "I dismissed it back then. I was wrong." Tears pricked my eyes. "Let me finish," she said gently. "It's taught us something important," Mom said, turning to me. "You're not just successful because you made money. You're successful because you know who you are and what you want. That's what we should have taught you." A contractor's truck pulled up, breaking the moment. But something had shifted, like a door finally easing open. The next week brought a surprise. Tom showed up at the cottage, toolbox in hand. "The contractor said you needed electrical work. I'm certified now. Thought I could help." I handed him a coffee and the work order. For hours, we worked side by side in quiet rhythm, interrupted only by tool clanks and occasional questions. It felt like building more than walls, maybe trust. Emma's business course was going well. One night, she called excitedly. "I finally get it. All these years I was trying to run before learning how to walk." The family meeting hadn't been the ending I feared. It was the start of something better. Real growth, grounded in honesty. Dad even dropped by the site some mornings, coffee in hand, quietly observing progress. One afternoon, he said, My father built our first house from the ground up. He would have understood you. He believed in things that last. 2 months from opening, the retreat was nearly complete. Bookings were coming in, executives, entrepreneurs, people in need of a reset. And then a familiar name popped up. Emma Bennett. 5 days stay. Used my own money, she laughed. Figured I could learn from your dream while building mine. It was all coming together. Finally. The old family room was now a meditation space. My former office had become a consultation room. Where there was once a patchy lawn, now bloomed a healing garden. Each change wasn't just structural, it mirrored emotional growth. My phone buzzed with a group text from Mom. Family dinner this Sunday. Everyone pays their own way. Your pick. I smiled. Boundaries, respected. Yes, I replied. The sun dipped low over Lake Michigan, casting golden light across the retreat. Soon this space would offer others renewal, but it had already done that for us. 1 year after the retirement party that changed everything, I stood at the entrance of Coastal Haven Wellness Retreat. It was grand opening day. Guests would arrive soon. But first, my family had asked for a tour. They arrived together. Mom and Dad in a modest, newly purchased car, bought with retirement funds they planned themselves. Emma, in a practical sedan, paid for with income from her growing consulting business. Tom pulled up in his now debt-free truck, running his own mobile mechanic service. Briefly, Mom whispered as she stepped inside, sunlight spilling through floor-to-ceiling windows. I can't believe this is the same house, Emma said, brushing her hand along the bamboo wall. It grew into what it was meant to be, Tom added. Dad stood quietly by the window. I thought I needed a beach house to be happy. Turns out, I just needed purpose. Come, I said, leading them to a small room near the entrance. Inside, a wall of photos, construction, milestones, and family. But we were awful to you, Emma said softly, staring at a childhood photo. Why include these? Because every transformation has a beginning, I replied. This retreat isn't just for executives, it's proof that change is possible. Our family is living proof. Mom wiped away tears, gentler this time. We really did rebuild, didn't we? Tom cleared his throat. Speaking of rebuilding, I'm opening my own auto shop, small but mine. No loans, no handouts. The pride in his voice said everything. Emma smiled. I'm expanding too. My first employee starts next month, on my own terms. Dad chimed in. We finalized our retirement plan, modest but ours. We're thinking of teaching financial literacy at the senior center. We stepped onto the deck. The same waves that once witnessed family conflict now glinted beneath clear skies. Strong, steady, changed. The first guests arrive at noon, I said, but I wanted you to see it first, not because you're entitled to it, but because you helped me learn something important. I looked at each of them. Sometimes the greatest gift is space, to grow, to fail, to rise. Mom hugged me tightly. We're proud of you, Julia. Not just for this place, but for showing us how to be a better family. As they drove off, I turned toward the new sign. Coastal Haven Wellness Retreat, where transformation begins. A year ago, I stood firm to protect my dream. Now it had become something bigger. Proof that by letting go, we can all rise. If you've walked this journey with me, through the silence, the boundaries, the rebuilding, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below. What would you have done? What boundaries have you had to defend? Your support means more than you know. If my story taught you anything, let it be this. You don't owe anyone your peace, but you do owe yourself the courage to protect it. Share your story, give me advice, or simply let me know you're out there. We're all building something. Let's build it stronger together, with truth, with respect, and with purpose.